Guys, I'm trying to get my OBS camera to work. Sorry, I'm not shaved, but it's Sunday and it's hot, and I've been lazy this weekend. Um, I don't know if I can do this today because my camera's not working, and I don't know why. Usually, when I plug it and plug it back in, it goes on. Is that gonna work? Oh, yay! Okay, maybe that's why. Maybe because I wasn't streaming. That might be why. Okay, cool. So we were able to fix that. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. How is everybody doing today? Let me go back to that other camera so you guys can see me until people come into the room. Oh, and I should put up the chat. That helps so I can see what people are saying. Okay, chat. There we go. Hey, Amanda, how are you? So how is everybody? What's going on? Just so everybody knows, all of the horoscopes are up on the YouTube channel for this month for August. It looks like it should be an interesting month for most of the signs. I'm trying to remember if anybody looked like they were super struggle bus this month, and I don't think anybody did. I think like Aries looked like they had a good month, but they had some challenges to face. Oh, and for those of you that do watch Aries, for anybody else or for yourself, if you are an Aries, Aries was originally put up by accident under the name of Sagittarius. So I fixed it yesterday because I think Jamie asked me, where's the Aries reading? Because there was 2 listings for Sagittarius, one of which was actually Aries. I just forgot to change over the title. So it should show correctly now. So if you're an Aries or were looking for the Aries reading and couldn't find it, that was the reason why. But they didn't necessarily have a bad reading. It was just like they seemed to be, I don't know, I got like a little hit of like there might be a struggle or something. But, Aries loves a good power struggle. Better, Karen. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Hey, Amanda. Cool, Virgo there. I did do Virgo. Virgo went up early, like about a week ago. But I tried to get all the rest of the water signs done today because it's the first. My Patreon subscribers, those of you that are Patreon subscribers, the 2 Patreon readings will probably go up tomorrow, just because I did the 3 water signs and then I'm doing this tonight. So it's been sort of a bit of a day. So I may film either one of them tonight and then another tomorrow for August, but I've yet to do them. I've been kind of lagging. My time off over the weekends. So just so you guys know, I started a new contract working from home, which is good, but it's a bit more stressful in the sense that it has to do with rental assistance. So it's people that are like kind of in the process of losing their homes. So they call me in different states of distress. And so that's a little bit hard about this new gig. And then it's also 10 hours a day so that I can have 3 days off. I opted for the 10-hour shift so I could work 40 hours a week. So my new days off are Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But what I'm finding after 2 weeks of this job is that my days off, I really just vegetate. It's bad. But I just kind of zone out and I either nap or swim in the pool or just kind of do not much of anything. I haven't even video gamed, which I usually like to play video games to take my mind off of stuff. And I don't even have like the sort of, I don't know. It's not that I don't have the mental capacity. I just don't really want to focus on anything. I just want to be kind of like yesterday, I spent most of the day watching. I did a reading in the evening, but I spent most of the day watching Halloween movies and, not Halloween like cartoons, like the actual series. I'm in the process of watching the box set of Halloween, the movies. So I'm watching all of them one after the other. And I just took a break I love John Carpenter films. I don't know if you guys know who John Carpenter is, but there's something about John Carpenter films from the 70s and 80s that are amazing to me. Like, I just love them. One of my favorite films is Big Trouble in Little China and Escape from New York and Assault on Precinct 13. I have all of those. And then I have a copy of The Fog, which I've never watched, from 1979. I'm watching that right now. And then I decided, you know what, I better get in here and do this with you guys or else I'm going to lose track and forget that it's Sunday. It'll be too late. I'll be like, oh shit. Hey, Jennifer Nichols, how are you, dear? Hit the like button. Exactly. Jennifer's reminding us to hit the like button. I probably am holding tension in my, Amanda says I'm holding tension. I might be holding it here. It's like a little stiff, but it doesn't hurt like it was, and I can eat again, which is good. So that makes me feel better. That makes me feel good. Hey, Vicky, how are you? So yeah, so I just have been caught up in this John Carpenter, and I love John Carpenter films. I think because they sort of, and I like even what most people consider his bad cinema. Like I love the movie Ghosts in Mars. Like it's really tacky, over the top, like horror sci-fi, but I love it. Like I don't. It's the jump scares. It's the music. It's sort of weird and kind of, I don't know. There's something about it that I just love. It feels kind of manic and perverse. And one of his films I have on, I have a lot of his films on Blu-ray. Like I've gone and bought them. Like I have all the Halloween, the first two Halloween movies. He only wrote the second one, but he actually directed the first one. And then I have like Assault on Precinct 13. I have Ghosts of Mars, Prince of Darkness, The Fog. But I've never watched The Fog. The Fog was actually my dad's. I inherited it when he died. So I thought it was kind of cool that I have both Escape from New York and Escape from LA on Blu-ray. Because I loved Escape from LA too, and people panned that movie, but I thought it was great. But I'm afraid about that. Is Lisa Vanderhelm here? I don't know if she showed up. Yeah, cancer reading was really good this morning. And I try and do, the other thing too is I find I do better when I'm reading early in the morning, like fresh out of bed. That's really where I'm that's why I do the daily forecast for the following day, first thing, like early in the morning when I don't have too much influence or anything going on in the day yet. I try and knock that out immediately because I also feel like I'm most sort of like that flow of consciousness that comes out, or whatever you want to call it. I feel like I'm most connected to it early in the morning when I'm first having my coffee without, too much of the day's stuff rushing in. So I try to do the water signs as early as possible to get them done. Yesterday I did the air signs and it was just a little bit late in the day. Like I started getting in my head, I started getting sidetracked about what I need to do or where I need to be. I need to clean the floors. There's things, I don't know. None of that shit's I need to also mow the lawn. But that's not gonna happen today either. It's too fucking hot out, to be honest. It's so hot. What is that? I don't see what that meme is, or not meme, that emoticon, Jen. I can't tell what that is. Is that like little gray mushrooms? What is that? It's this tiny little like emoji. You were raised on that stuff? I love that stuff. And I think maybe that's what it is it reminds me of my childhood, but some of it's like really just kind of scary. The other thing too about scary movies in the 70s and 80s, like nothing was kind of off limits in some ways. Like there was always this sort of weird, like children could be harmed. You know what I mean? Like you don't see that so much in horror films now. Like the horror films now are super gory. And I don't mind the gore, but like there was just this really weird perversion or some, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but there's this weird thing about movies from the 70s and 80s that are just kind of like, they're just strange to me. Like, even in Halloween, those children, the little girl and the boy are, being put away in the cabinet. I don't know. It's just sort of like there's something weird about it, but I get into this thing where I go through these cycles where I want to watch that stuff. Yes, cancers are headed to Bermuda. Exactly. I think I used that as an example. I just watched Halloween 3 because I have a box set of all of the Halloween movies that I bought like at a Walmart years ago, and I never really watched it. I've seen the original, the first two, quite a few times, and then I've seen all of the others later. I don't know that I had ever seen 3. I just finished watching 3 this like earlier today, like just now. And it was really horrible, like really bad, because it didn't have anything to do with Michael Myers. And it is a John Carpenter film, like in the sense that I think he wrote it. He didn't direct it. He may have produced it, but it's affiliated with all the same people that he worked with and all of that crew. But it was just kind of not good. Like I was really surprised at how exceptionally bad it was. But it also didn't have, and it has nothing to do with like Michael Myers or that whole part of the Halloween story. So the next film I'm going to watch is Halloween 4, The Revenge of Michael Myers, after I finish The Fog. I'm taking a break to stay on this John Carpenter kick. The other John Carpenter film I don't think I've seen, which he's famous for, that I should see with Kurt Russell, is The Thing, which I'm going to probably track down. There's certain films that I just never got around to watching because when I was really young, I just wasn't allowed to watch them. And then, but I love, like, still to this day, I'll watch Escape from New York and get excited about that movie. I love that movie. It's ridiculous. They're kind of over the top, but I watch them and I don't know who can see what comments, but Jen's saying over on YouTube, I love that they were so campy. And it's true. They really kind of were. But I think at the time they maybe weren't, right? Like at the time we maybe really acted that way. But now when you watch them in retrospect, we're like, were we really that bad? But it's funny. So, what's everybody else done with their weekend? How are you guys doing? Cancers win a free trip to Bermuda. Excuse me. I need to shave. There's a lot of shit I need to do before work starts tomorrow. These 10-hour shifts, they're good because I like it because it gives me 3 days off. But by the time 4:30 rolls around, because I start work at 6 a.m. my time, and then I don't get off till 4:30. And it's here at home, which is great. But I can tell you, by the time I'm off at 4:30, my brain's like mush. Because I've been dealing with people that are, it's not dealing with them, but trying to assist people that are like really stressed out and freaked out. And so I think it's taking a toll. It'll just take some time to adjust. And if I was at an amusement park all week with 6 children, so much drama. Happy to be done now. Which amusement park did you go to, Jen? Don't eat my shoe. No. Why do you go for my shoes? Please don't eat that. You have chew toys all over the house. That's my flip-flop. If you eat that, I won't have a shoe to wear, and I'll be walking around like homeless, and people in the neighborhood will judge me. Kings Island in Cincinnati, and that's in Ohio. Is that far from here? How far is Ohio from Chicago? Hi, Lee Bridge. How are you? Was John Carpenter The Warriors too, or was he somebody else? Because The Warriors is a really good movie too. I have that on Blu-ray too. I love that movie. That's another one that I'm obsessed with. It's not too far. It's a 6-hour drive. Okay. So everybody went haywire, acted crazy. Will you stop chewing the flip-flop? If you chew through my flip-flop, I'm going to be angry. Those are Daddy's house slippers. You can't do that. You're supposed to bring that to me, not chew on it like it's a chew toy. Why don't you come here and say hi to everybody? Come here. Come up here. Yeah, come on. Oh, you little shit. He does this thing where he comes up and he gets on his back legs and he puts his front paws up on the chair like he wants to be picked up. And the minute I go to pick him up, he pops back down onto the floor. So I can't reach him because I'm in like a bar stool chair. Come here. Oh, you stink. I think he ate cat poop again out in the backyard because he's farting really bad. And then the only thing I feed him is dog food. So I think he got a hold of something in the backyard. Hey, Farty, come here. Farty Marty, come here. Come say hello to the people. Not you. You're 78 pounds. You can't come up here. You're huge. Come here. Come here. Hi. Don't do it. Yes. Hi. Say hi. Say hi. He's like over it already. He's like, whatever. Say hello. Okay, you can go free. Just don't eat my shoes, please. Gossip. Teenage drama all the time and a constant game of telephone. I'm more direct. That's that Aries. Get it. Get it, Aries. Oh, welcome from the UK, Lee. Sol Uric wrote the book. I don't think I've ever read the book. I just love the movie from the 70s. I think it's a great There's something about 70s cinema that I love. The other day I was actually thinking about Bruce Lee films. Like I wanted to do I don't think I've ever seen a Bruce Lee film in its entirety. Like I don't know that I have. Maybe I have when I was a kid, but I would really like to get into like watching some of those because they were such like sort of, you see that picture of him, his face where he's like, and it's all like kind of, I don't know, like the colors are really bright and it just looks like it might be good. And I don't know that I've ever seen a full Bruce Lee film. I think he did one with Wilt Chamberlain. That just sounds like totally bizarre. So I'm like, let's do it. Oh, my Uber Eats just arrived. I'll have to go outside and get it in the house so that like the neighbor cats don't eat it. Yeah, Warriors come out to play. I used to love that movie. I love that movie. I have it here. I'll watch it like maybe once every year or so. There's certain movies that I can like are my go-to films. Like Escape from New York is another one. There's a couple of jump scares in Escape from New York that still to this very day scare me. They make me jump every time, even though I know that they're coming. And I think that John Carpenter was like a master of that. Like he was really good at that. Yeah. Yes, that's Gaby. Old the Gaby. Yeah, no, I was just talking about that. I have Assault on Precinct 13. I own it. I love that movie. That actually was that's one of my favorites too. I have that. I have a lot of John Carpenter films just in general. I was just talking before you got on about like how I've been watching Halloween and all of those old John Carpenter. Right now I'm watching The Fog because I don't think I've ever watched it. Oh, I think she just knocked at the door. Hold on, I'm gonna go grab the Uber Eats and bring it in the house. I'll be right back, guys. Don't chew up my shoe, please. Wait, that's just the Uber Eats lady. You guys, don't worry. Uber Eats lady. You're in the wrong door, you don't. Hey, what are you doing? Get over here. Crazy. You're not supposed to run off the street like that. You get hit like that. Oh my God. Give me a heart attack. Jesus. Oh my God, Gabriel. Oh my God, you'll give me a heart attack. Jesus. Sorry, guys. My dog just ran right out. I grabbed the food and he ran out from behind me and ran straight out into the street, like past the yard, out into the street. Didn't even know what he was running for. Just running out like, wasn't looking. Thank God no cars were coming. You dink. You'll get killed doing that stuff. People fly up and down that street. If you're not paying attention, I don't think he knows. It was like you would think he had just gotten out of prison or something. And he lives a good life here. The air conditioning's on. That's okay. They can hear. You guys can hear me. That dog was expensive. Like I don't want to. Like I put that on a credit card. I don't want it just getting smashed in the street. God, the other day he did it. Like this was a couple of weeks ago. I opened the door and there was a pizza being delivered, and the lady couldn't catch him with like her leg, and she was handing me the pizza, and he ran out behind her and he ran towards her car, right? And I thought he was just gonna go sniff her car because the car was pulled up in front of the house. So I was like, Gabriel, come here, Gabriel. And the thing is he doesn't like have that immediate turn back response. He's like a tiny little dog, so his brain goes like really fast. And he's different than the bulldogs. Like the English bulldogs, they're slower. They're more sedate. They don't run and move as quickly, and it's like sprightly, right? And he took off for her car, which was right on the curb. And I thought, oh, he's running to the car because there's never a car in front of the house. So he's probably going to inspect that. He ran underneath her car and out into the street as a truck was going by. And he bolted after the truck and ran like 3 houses down the street after the truck, like not even realizing what he's chasing or why. He just sees like a truck go by, so he goes flying after it. And I'm like, what are you doing? So it's like we're have to be really careful with the front door apparently, because he'll just take a high one and take a flyer, and I can't move that quickly. I can't like chase him down. Like I'm not that fast. There's no way. So I have to scream at him, and then when I scream at him, he stops, and then he comes around. But he was just like literally zipping around like he's supposed to be out and free. Like no, I think it's also he hasn't been snipped yet, so we may have to get him fixed. He's about 9 months now, so between 9 months and a year, you're supposed to get him fixed, and I think that might be part of it. Is that maybe he'll slow down, slow his roll, and not get like so wanting to be. He doesn't try and run, but I mean, well, that time he just but whatever. It stresses me out. All I need him to do is get run over and me be standing at the front door going, whoops. It's just faster than any dog I have. My other dogs move like molasses. So they're like more easy. You don't have to do anything with them. They just kind of saunter. All right, does anybody want to cash in their Charmings or anything like that today? If not, I've got free birds burritos. Hi, Lisa. How are you? I was going to just tell you. So were you the one that told me about Money Heist, Lisa? Or do you know about Money Heist? No, I told you about Elite, but did you tell me about Money Heist? I felt like the last time we did one of these, we started talking about different shows, and I was watching that Spanish show Elite, and then I just found a show on Netflix called Money Heist that's actually very similar to Elite. It's again Spanish programming or like made in Spain, so it's subtitled. I think you can watch it dubbed, but it's good. It's got that same sort of pulpy, similar to Who Killed Sarah, which I know you've watched Who Killed Sarah, but I know you suggested some show to me, and I can't remember if it was Money Heist, but I came across Money Heist the other night, and it's actually really good. There's like 4 or 5 seasons, and it's that like drama, like it's all happening during a bank robbery, and they have a hostage situation, but all the hostages have this like sort of weird drama, and the robbers have weird interconnections. So it's kind of cool. It's like sort of like I would call it a Latin soap opera in the midst of a bank robbery, if that's the best way to describe it. So I think it's good. Oh, you do know it, then you have seen it. That I think it was you that was telling me about it, because when I started watching it, I was like, wait a second, these are some of the same actors that are in Elite. And then I was like thinking, oh, maybe this is the show that Lisa was telling me about. Because I was entertained. Oh, so you got the other shoe? I put the other shoes in the closet, and then you go get the other shoe? This dog is going to be the death of me, I swear, or I'm going to be the death of the dog. What are you doing? Hold on, I got to put this shoe away. I put the other shoes I put the flip-flops away. Now you've got the Vans? How'd you do that? How'd you swing that one? Oh, you opened it. Oh. That's close. I cannot go in there. That's like, we don't live in closets around here. His newest thing, because when I work out in the living room at the desk. His newest thing is I'll be working on the phone and like looking out the window, kind of listening to the call, not paying attention. And he's allowed to be like, he's old enough now where he's allowed to kind of go around the house. He doesn't make mistakes in the house anymore or anything like that. And so I'll let him kind of do whatever he's doing. And then I'll look over, like maybe to get up to take a break after a few hours, or maybe go on lunch, and I'll look over and I have all of these different like funny little cushioned bath mats in my bathroom, and one in front of each sink. I have 2 sinks, and then one in front of the shower and one underneath the toilet, so my feet rest on it in the morning so they're not cold. He will pull all 4 of them, which are like twice the size of him, quite frankly, and drag them all the way out to the living room and leave them laying around the floor on the living room. And he does it like almost daily. It drives me nuts. But, he's out of lack of things to do, so I let him do it. I kind of holler at him, but he doesn't listen. He just does it every day. Yeah, you can, Lisa. Okay. Oh, somebody's just farting. Jesus, it's gotta be the puppy. That stinks. Whatever you ate today is disgusting. You're like on. You're not winning any points today, other than the cute points. That's it. The rest is like, between the farting, the running in the street, the eating of the shoes. You're like, I think you're looking for a rehomes scenario. I'm not sure. But you're heading in that direction. I'm just warning you. Okay. All right, so let me switch cameras. $25, Laura. Okay, there we go. All right, so general for Lisa. Oops, one of them fell out. So it's a P. So we'll put that here for a moment. I have a T, an N, an E. So this is the letter 3. This could be 10, E and T. The P is also a 3. I'm going to leave this right here just for a moment. Kind of look at this really quick. Interesting, we have the levers. Hold on, let me turn on the light so you guys can maybe see better. We have the intertwined lovers, like in the handcuffs. Kinky. Do you guys see that? That's like let me pull this out. We have the lovers that are like sort of in a coital bliss state, like wrapped in the handcuffs. To me, yeah, the joke is haha kinky, but I wonder if there's something maybe weighing heavy or feeling restrictive in your relationship right now. That all of this stuff feels very much in the present moment, which I like that about it. We have, this is my symbol, the old symbol for Aquarius. Will you stop chasing the cat? The old symbol for Aquarius, we have the dream catcher here, and then the jaguar, which to me is about like sort of shamanic medicine. There could be some dream work, some spiritual work that you should be working on or are currently working on. You might be feeling a little bit empowered is sort of the feeling that I'm getting, or like your thoughts, your intuition should be strong right now. You have the rose underneath here, it's upside down, but it is face up. And to me, the rose is sort of a very spiritual symbol. It's this beautiful, it kind of represents our own personal beauty, or the belief in that beauty, the nurturing of that, the fragility, but also like being our own protector in a way because of the thorns on a rose. And so when I look at these 3 together, to me, this feels like your knowledge or your wisdom up here, right? Your spirit, and then a little bit of fragility, but also just sort of honoring your own beauty or your own, and I mean not like just physical beauty. I'm talking about like the beauty of your spirit or who you are. Then you have this flipped over. This is the sign for Aquarius, or was originally the sign for Aquarius, and it was flipped over and face down. And I don't know. I almost want to feel like this is maybe somebody or something that is not blocking this, but trying to sort of lay pressure on it, sit on it. They may not even be conscious of it. I don't know what your partner's signs are, or if he has any major Aquarius influence. But when I see this here, it makes me feel like these things could be a little bit connected. There could be a little bit of sort of struggle or restraint, so to speak, going on maybe in the relationship department right now. And then this is the Page of Cups, but it's flipped over. And to me, the Page of Cups is one of like my second favorite card of the deck. But to me, it's about being optimistic, thinking outside of the box, believing in magic again. That might be some of what we're working on through here with the the dream catcher, the jaguar, and the rose, to me, this is about maybe like reclaiming ourselves, re-owning ourselves, owning what we know to be true at a sort of deep spiritual, even dreamlike state in our subconscious mind. Even though the subconscious is down here on the board, I feel like you're bringing it into the present or into the now and really working with it, sitting in it, dwelling in it. This charm here feels like it's trying to, I don't know, like I will say this, I don't know if this charm is consciously doing this or unconsciously doing it, but it's trying to like sort of get in the way or muck things up. I don't like the way that this is laying here. Like it feels like it's trying to halt your progression or stop. It wants to stop the realization, but I don't think it's powerful enough to, between these three charms that are going on here, right? This here is more in the future and it's not quite here yet. I feel like that's why this is flipped over. We haven't arrived there, but there is this optimism. I know that you're a triple water sign, right, Lisa? So the Page of Cups being here in your future to me is very much in line with who you are, where you want to be, what makes sense to you. There's a certain joy with the Page of Cups too. There's a childlike exuberance. There's an excitement that you can look forward to. But I think that some of that has to do with the work that you're doing now, the ownership that's taking place here, the strength that's taking place here, the belief in oneself that's taking place right now in the present moment, that's going to enable you to get to a future where you can think more openly, playfully, being a little bit more at ease, relaxed in your emotions, own them. There's also an aspect of learning or open-mindedness that comes with the pages that's kind of cool. So I think there's, whatever we're working in now might actually transpire or turn over and change, begin a new chapter for you where you feel more settled emotionally. Not that you're unsettled now, but like you feel more connected to yourself sort of emotionally. You're able to maybe learn more in this new chapter moving forward. Does that make sense? This is my friend Christy. Sorry, I'm just now reading the comments. Is Christy messaging me through Laura's Facebook? Or am I to do it just for Christy? Is Christy not here? Hey, Tina Charlie, how are you, dear? Oh, there's Christy. Hi, Christy, I see you. Okay, cool. So does that make sense, Lisa? But I think that really good things are happening right now for you, in the sense that, to me, when I look at those three charms, the jaguar, the dream catcher, and the rose, I mean, the rose could also just be very much symbolic of growth. But I also think that it's about, to a certain degree, like not only our own growth, but our fragility, but also our ability to sort of be fragile yet take care of ourselves. That's the sort of like rose thorn dynamic, right? And so even though it's a fragile flower or it seems, vulnerable, it actually, you can't just outright grab a rose without, without some sort of care, or else you're going to harm yourself, right? Thank you, Laura. I did see payment come through. Thank you. I think that hopefully he will. I don't see, it's more to me, what I see in this charming is it's more about you. And I will say this too, with this P added in, we have the numbers or the letters the numbers 3 on the P and then 1, 2, 3. So this would be a total of 6. Numerologically, 6 would be about bringing things back into balance. And I feel like there is a sort of a balance happening here with the rose jaguar and dream catcher. I actually feel like there's a distinct power there that's kind of cool. So whatever you're working on personally or internally, stay with it, keep with it, even if you're getting like sort of maybe mixed signals around you. Don't let those mixed signals or other people's sort of like restrictions or needs to restrict you. Even if it's not like necessarily, I don't necessarily know that it's malicious or anything like that. It just might be like they need you to be something for them right now, right? And so that may want you to put your own growth or your own whatever these, this is for you on the back burner. Don't. It's my feeling. Because it's like these are really powerful. Those 3 charms are really kind of strong, beautiful charms to have on the board, working together in your favor in this positioning, in the sense that it's in sort of like the present time space. There's not a lot that we're dwelling on maybe in the past, because I don't see a lot going on in the past. We're in the now, looking at the now, working on what's going on with us. Yes, there might be struggles going on in our relationship, but that's okay. We can sort of evolve ourselves while we deal with those struggles. We can get ourselves to this more optimistic, emotionally, I don't know if emotionally excited is the word, but emotionally, new feeling in a way, because the pages can represent sort of newness too, or feeling renewed in a way. You're welcome, Lisa. Thank you. All right, so Miss Christie, I normally, the way that charmings work is you give me like if you want, you can do a general where I just throw the charms for a general and we see what comes out, or I can do a 1-word topic. So if there's an area you want me to focus on, like some people say career or love or, money or whatever, I can do that too. So you can give me a 1-word topic, or you can just ask for a general and we see what comes out. That's what I just did for Lisa, was a general charming. Love. Okay, cool. Thank you. Ouch. Everything's flying off. Okay, so this is so yes, but I'm going to leave this over here for a minute. I've got a D and I've got an E. This is a number of 3. It's interesting that we have the wisdom charm here, and then we have the book, right? To me, which would also indicate wisdom, knowledge, learning, education, intelligence. We have the rooster, but it's flipped over. It's upright, but it's flipped over, right? The rooster, sometimes it makes me laugh because sometimes it makes me think of cock, right? Like, is there a lack of cock in Sherry's life? Not to be too dirty, but there is that. It can be also luck, right? Because roosters in a lot of cultures, like Portuguese culture and stuff, it's very much a symbol of luck and things working out in our favor. But when I see this flipped over, whether it is a lack of sort of, either, to me, again, I feel like this is us relying on our intelligence, being in the present moment, dealing with the now, staying cool, calm, and collected when it comes to love. I feel like there's a bit of a practicality in all of this. Like, I don't feel like this feels very overly romantic. I almost look at these charms and I think, because I'm looking also at the coolness of the blue tones in not only the dice, but also down here in the green in this, I believe this is the symbol for Aries, which is upright here. But this is down in the subconscious. But to me, there's a lot of blue-green tones happening that feel very practical, would be a good word. The book and the wisdom card to me also feel like we're not going to be, I don't know if fooled is the right word, but we're not going to be, convinced or played, let's say, right? So this could be representational of maybe somebody that's around you that might be slightly beneath you, right? And what I mean by that is the idea is that maybe there is some male suitor that you're kind of already being told that what I mean by this is like your own intelligence, your own wisdom, your own sort of internal dialogue is like, is he the one? No, he's probably not. Like, and you kind of maybe already know that. He might be it might be a little bit of a cock in the sense like he might be cocky, he might be like not thinking all that clearly or not treating you in the exact right ways. And that's why this rooster sort of flipped over. You're like, I'm not sure if he's the one, but he's not really treating me the way I really want to be treated or making me feel the way I feel like he should treat me. And so that's why this charm to me is feeling like it's upright, like it's around you, but you're smarter than this, or you know better. There's something that's telling you otherwise. It's like your own internal dialogue. Does that make sense? My husband abandoned me and our kids 3 weeks ago. Jesus, he is not with his secretary. Oh my God. I'm sorry to hear that, Christy. This could be his abandonment then, but don't give me too much information at this time. So, oh, he is with his secretary. Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry. So this is Aries energy. Aries can be like the child of the zodiac. It can be hot. It can be fiery. It can be impulsive. It can be argumentative. But it, like, to me, Aries energy means well. It sometimes doesn't necessarily think things through. It can be impulsive. It can be it can jump to conclusions at times. And so when this is down here, how I see this is sort of more your subconscious. And when I see this Aries energy down here, to me, it feels like, Aries is represented by the ram, like it wants to butt heads, it wants to fight, it might be really pissed. This is also in this section a little bit more in the future. And so when I see this down here, I don't know if this is significant of like a actual Aries person or Aries natured anger that might be deep seated in your subconscious due to whatever it is that you're going through right now, right? Whatever struggles you might be dealing with around your, hey, cut it out. Leave her alone. She doesn't want to be bothered. Sorry, guys. I have an older bulldog that he loves her. He wants to like romance her and she's not having it. So she's snarling at him. All right. Now, in the future, this says if you believe in yourself, anything is possible, which I like this. This is in the higher mind. This is an open thought. When you're asking about love, like, is there, when you say the word love, okay, so I'm going to say this. Do I think that this might be your relationship. I think this might be your husband. I think your husband's being a cock or a dick. I think he's on his way out. That's why it's flipped over. I'm just going to be straight up and honest. The wisdom and the book also indicates that you're too smart for this, or not too smart in a bad way, but where this is going. So if you're holding out for the two of you to kind of get back together or whatever, and that's your question, I kind of feel like it doesn't look like it will do that. And the reason why is because we have this giant space here. We have this rose quartz, which is indicative of love. We have this, if you believe in yourself, anything is possible, which brings this idea of in the future, there might be new opportunities, new things that are being brought to you, new choices or challenges or changes that could be about love at that point in time. But in your present situation or what you're dealing with now, I don't necessarily feel as though, I feel like these three symbols here are in like discord, if that makes sense. Like it's not feeling like it's going to come back together, right? And we're dealing with that right now. There's something also too that you could potentially be learning from this situation that could very much be valuable, even though it may be painful. And so I'm sorry that you're going through what you're going through. And then this here is, I think, what planet is this? I think this is, let me just look this up really quick. 1 second. Is this Saturn? I think this might be Saturn. It is Saturn. So Saturn is like the sort of ruler of hard lessons. And I think that when I look at this, it feels to me like through whatever hard lessons we may be going through now, whatever we're learning about now, and again, we've got wisdom and we've got the books, or we may be learning something that might be being served to us in a way that's it's tough or hard, whatever, that teaches us something that we can carry with us into the future that allows us to be, I don't know, smarter, wiser, more adept as things progress in our future. Do I think that there's love for you? Yes. Do I think it's with this person? Maybe not. I feel like there's hope in the rose quartz, which is representational of love, and this idea of if you believe in yourself, anything is possible. Saturn will like sort of like reward us for doing the hard work, for learning the lesson, for facing the struggles, for facing the controversy or whatever it is that we're dealing with. This also popped out too, and this is so yes, but it was like outside of the board way down here, but it's also again on this sort of pink color. So to me, is there another chapter for you? Is there another story? Yes, I do believe so. I feel like it's down the line or further away, but right now we have to deal with what we're in right now, and how we choose to handle that is going to be, not how we choose to handle it, but how we choose to learn from it is important. You're saying, shit, why do you want to be with your husband, Christy? Is that what you're hoping for? Are you hoping that the two of you get back together? Oh, all the deep talk. I'm sorry, Christy. And I know that this is painful for you, that this isn't it. Certainly, it may, to me, I don't see this as a bad reading. I see this as a bad situation that you're involved in now, but I certainly see you as being smart enough and strong enough and cool and calm enough. I mean, with the exception of this Aries energy down here, which kind of makes me feel like this could also be because we're moving more into the future with this and this being down in your subconscious. Yes, there could be a little bit of war element in Aries. There could be a little bit of fight in there, but this could also be about taking action and moving forward with our lives, right? Taking what we've learned, the hard lessons we've been through, and moving forward and getting on with whatever it is that we need to do. And I think that in doing that, we are, whether we get involved in another relationship with somebody else, this idea of if you believe in yourself, anything is possible, that's really kind of the takeaway in all of this, or what you get to take away from all of this, is that you get to understand a little bit. And I know that's not a consolation to what's going on right now, but there is this sort of understanding or this awareness that you will have from this whole experience that is going to probably, in my opinion, open you up to better things. I know that sounds like crazy, but it's sort of what I kind of feel like these are sort of trying to tell me. Yeah, he's a dumpster fire. She's a warrior. So I do think that there's an opportunity to sort of, I don't know if rebuild is the right concept that I want to use here, because with this book here and the wisdom charm in the center, I feel like you're actually really strong. You actually are maybe looking at this from a rather analytical place, or a place of maybe more intelligence rather than emotions, right? Instead of breaking down, you're actually using it to inform you in some way. Or at least that's what these sort of the vibe that these give me. It's almost like it almost feels more clinical than like wrecked emotional. Does that make sense? And so will we get back to good feeling emotions and feeling connected and inspired and all of that? Yes, in the future we can. We can even get back to loving ourselves or loving our life or having love in our life, trusting somebody again, all of that sort of stuff. Any and all of that is possible. But we have to like sort of work our way there. And I think that whatever you're doing here, this feels to me like very cool, calm, collected. And I kind of like it in the sense that it's not like you've, like, even if the ship is sinking, you're not like panicking or, you know what I'm saying? You're not bailing. You're being as smart and as capable and as steady as you can be in this situation. And I think that's a good thing. Yes, I'm getting more clinical for sure. Lisa's sending you hugs, Christy, just so you know. Good morning, Tracy, all the way from Australia. But I'm really sorry that you're dealing with that, Christy. That sucks. Thank you, Christy. In the end, though, I do want to say this, you're going to be okay. Like, I really feel like that. And I feel like Saturn being here is actually a blessing. Because Saturn is the, like, sort of the, you know, he can bring the hard lessons with him, but he also can bless you for sort of doing the right thing or showing up or, you know, facing the sort of the challenge. And I feel like something about this feels really, really good. All right, guys, is there anybody else out there like Patreon subscribers that wanted to collect their charming? The dog's out there barking. I don't know who he's barking at. I think he's barking at the cat. He's such a dink. I swear to God, he's like just busy all the time, like in stuff. You want to get yours, Tracy? Perfect. Do you have a subject matter that you want me to do? That you want me to focus on? You're welcome, Laura. You're very welcome. General, okay. Why is everything popping out of the board today? So we have a P again and an H. Your pH balanced. It's a number 7. Let me look at what we've got going on here. So let's see. We've got Serenity flipped over. We've got a lot of tarot coins in here. This is like a tarot reading. I'm going to put Serenity up here just for a minute, and I want to see what this is. This is if you believe in yourself, anything is possible, which we saw that in the previous charming. So let me look at these. So we have the Emperor. We have the Star. We have the Hermit. We have the Hierophant. Jesus, Tracy. We have the Ace of Wands. Then we also have the King of Pentacles. Just want to see what this is. This says Grace. I don't know why, Tracy, but I'm going to say this. With all of this major arcana in the center, I feel like right now is a very pivotal moment for you, or a very important time for you. I feel like there's like some sort of big changes happening, or there's a lot of things that you might be working on at this time. I like that the Star, a lot of these were flipped over, but I think that this means that these are sort of energies or aspects of things that are going on in the background that you may not be, I don't want to say that you're not aware of them, but I feel like you may not know that they're sort of at work in the background, right? We have the Ace of Wands back here, but this is more in the past. And to me, I feel like this is that sort of inspiration or that desire, taking action or moving towards something. But when it's flipped over like that, were we aware that we were doing that as we were opening the door to whatever we're dealing with now, right? In the now, we have the Emperor. He was upright. To me, the Emperor is about sort of making those choices from a very kind of adult, or I don't know if practical is the right word, but he's discerning. He is going to be a high expectational sort of person. I feel like this might be you. I feel like this here could be a counterpart or somebody that you're involved with, this King of Pentacles, right? Now, what I want to say about up here, this feels very spiritual to me, these 3 charms together. The sewing machine being so high up on the board feels like, I don't know why, but I get this weird picture in my mind's eye of like threading together concepts or ideas that might be not necessarily practical. And this feather to me brings me to this state of like angels or spirit, right? You know how sometimes we can receive feathers from our loved ones in spirit, that sort of a thing. But this to me, it feels like it's being weaved or weaved in, right? And this is all in your higher mind. And then we have the big listen, which is also, to me, this conch shell is about, listening to the voice within, or the voices that are around us. Maybe it's spirit's voice. But I feel like there's this, I don't know, this I'm fixated on that sewing machine. Like I feel like, and I'm talking about this from a metaphorical place, right? Not from a literal place. But what I mean is it feels like spirit is kind of, or your own higher self is weaving together the messages, or has been weaving together the messages. And maybe we weren't necessarily, and it's sort of in the past, right? But we're kind of getting into that now, and we're setting ourselves up for the receiving of whatever this was in the background. And that's why we're seeing so many major arcana. The Ace of Wands also being flipped over during this time in sort of the present time space, right? Or in the what I would see as the sort of main body of the reading, right? Again, could be in the background. Like we weren't really aware that our spirit was driving us. Yes, we might have had desires, we might have had hopes and dreams, but we didn't realize that we were actually maybe setting them off on some level. It's kind of the feeling that I get. Also with this, if you believe in yourself, anything is possible. And this idea of serenity. Yes, both of these were flipped over, but I feel like, again, these are energies that are around you. We see serenity mimicked in the star coin that's in here in the background. And so the star is going to answer to the emperor, right? The emperor has this high expectation, this high resolve, right? The emperor will always deliver at the highest of levels, right? And what we put in, we expect back from others. Can we trust this person, this King of Pentacles? I believe so. He's grounded. He's a producer. He's a manifester. He's all of those things. He could be an earth sign, right? But he sort of wants to meet with the emperor is the feeling that I get. I don't know if the emperor is all that trusting of that, right? But because the emperor and I like this star being here, like there is this sort of peace involved in that with them, right? Underneath here is namaste, flipped over, right? Which namaste to me is the God within you, honors the God within me. And I feel like these two are talking. We have the Hermit, which is Virgo energy. The star, which would be, the star is Aquarius energy. The Emperor is Aries energy. We've been seeing a lot of Aries tonight. And then the Hierophant is Taurus. So we've got Aries, Aquarius, Virgo, and Taurus. So two earth energies. And then we have the King of Pentacles. The Hierophant would be about spiritual learning, higher learning, that sort of thing. The Hierophant can sometimes indicate marriage too. He's sort of in the background though. Remember, he was flipped over and he's down here more towards the subconscious. We also have Gemini's charm showing up here. Then we have the Dolphin, which to me is in here as a sign of communication, right? I just think that's what it represents for me. And then we have the clear sixth chakra. This is our third eye, right? On a clear stone, but it's flipped over. Are we trusting our intuition, or are we being more practical about things? I almost want to say when I'm looking at this, and I'm not looking at the comments right now to see what your suggestions are or what you might be saying, Tracy, but I kind of feel like, is there a meeting of the minds that's going on right now, or could potentially be coming to you? He may not even be here just yet, but that it feels like things are moving you. It feels like when I look at all of this, like there's something bigger going on in the grand scheme of things. Oh, wait, I just realized this could be HP, which could be higher power. A phrase we use in the rooms of like AA. We call the God our higher power, our HP. So I just saw that when I was looking at that. And I do feel like there's something oddly otherworldly about all of the major arcana, because everything here is major arcana other than this ace, Tracy, and the King of Pentacles. But I feel like he is another party in all of this. This could be a business relationship if it's not romantic. I don't get a super romance vibe from all of this, but this does feel important. Does that make sense? If it is romantic, great. Are you equals? Yes. Are you a little bit more expecting a little bit more or require a little bit more? Yes, as the Emperor, but you can also teach them in some ways, right? And they can teach you, or they can bring you not what you need, because as the Emperor, you're not necessarily dependent upon anybody else for anything, but they can, I don't even know if provide is the right word, but they can certainly share their wealth. Does that make sense? When I see this flipped over, this speaks to like a sort of a spiritual or at least maybe even a telepathic communication in a sense, but it's flipped over on the chakra side down, which makes me wonder, are you trusting your intuition, or are you trying to be more practical to keep yourself safe, steady? Are you not quite convinced yet? Have they not proven themselves to you? It makes me think a little bit. And then it's funny because Gemini's all the way down here in the subconscious, and it makes me wonder, I'm like, what is this doing down here, all the way down here in the sort of future, but like kind of by itself? And then it just dawned on me when I was thinking about it, Gemini is representational of the twins. And then it made me think of like twin flame, but I don't want to say that, but I'm thinking like, is this like maybe a soulmate connection or something that somebody, whether it's business or romance or whatever this connection might be between these two tarot coins, I feel like it is like maybe fated in some way or connected at a deeper level, like maybe from soul family or of that ilk, of that nature. That's also why the namaste is like also, again, flipped over, like hidden in the background, but that namaste is like the God in me honors the God in you, right? And to me, it's a spiritual saying, it's a spiritual sort of greeting. But again, it's like that honoring of who we really are at maybe a soul level than, who we maybe are in this lifetime, right? But understanding and appreciating this sort of the royalty. We have the emperor and the king of pentacles. So we're understanding and seeing the best qualities of each other, or just certainly displaying those sort of qualities with each other. So I don't know. You're welcome, Laura. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like whatever is going on for you right now needs to be paid attention to. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of sort of, or there have been and are still a lot of sort of synchronicities going on. I wouldn't make light of, I don't think that you are making light of them. I think that you need to be paying attention to them and being like really like acknowledging them and allowing more to come in. They're certainly all around. That might be why some of these charms are flipped over, is because we might not be necessarily noticing the synchronicities as much as they are coming to us. Does that make sense? Yes, I feel like I'm getting a lot of messages lately. Exactly. And I feel like that's kind of what this is all about. I don't know much about your love life, Tracy, so I don't know if this is like a love life thing. I feel like this is two separate people, though, equals, right? Two separate sort of equals that bring a beneficial aspect to whatever this relationship may be. So maybe this is just it could be just a friendship. It doesn't feel like ultra super romantic, but it definitely feels like, not to like lay heavy terms on it, but it feels sort of faded in a way. Important. A relationship that is bonded, or you know what I'm saying? Like it could be, sometimes when you walk into a room and you meet somebody and you feel like you've known them forever, it's like one of those things. Your hubby is still in Egypt. Maybe he's coming home. I forgot about that, Tracy. Maybe there's some powers that be that are going to make this happen, where you two can kind of finally come together again. Because I feel like that's what these two are, is like coming together in like reunion, or so maybe something will shift. I hope. But it feels like there's other things going on in the background that maybe you don't even understand, that are like rather large. Like spirit might be moving mountains to make this happen. Sure, Dorothy, I do. So I hope that makes sense, Tracy. I would be extremely like excited and hopeful and connect to all of this stuff that could be, going around and going on in the background that is like, to me, working in your favor. All of these major arcana coins or tokens are not necessarily, they're not negative to me at all. They're like working for you. They're steadfast, dedicated, intelligent, spiritual, all of this stuff. Well, make sure you get rest. Thank you, Dorothy. I saw your payment come through. And I say enjoy it, have fun with it, and understand that it's like sort of all being kind of orchestrated in a way, some sort of spiritual, larger than life way. All right, I'm going to clear the board so I can do Dorothy. If you need to take a picture, do it now. You're welcome, Tracy. Thank you for your Patreon subscription. All right, so Dorothy, do you have an area that you want me to focus on, or did you just want general? General? Okay, perfect. I will do that in just one moment. Let me just write this down. Okay. All right, so for Dorothy, okay, so the loving couple like hung on my finger there for a minute. That was interesting. We have an N, we have an A, we have a Y, we have an O. So this is a total of 1, 2, 4, and one more. It would be a 7. Sorry. Okay, let me see what's going on here. When I look at this, like immediately, I feel like there's some sort of discord going on. I'm not exactly sure what. I feel like it could have to do with the family or maybe your relationship, Dorothy. Just in the way that the charms feel to me, they feel a little bit like they're struggling in a way. I don't see that, like, there's nothing, I mean, there's, charms are charms. They can be good, they can be bad. I see a lot of really good things in here, but it just sort of feels like they're struggling or rubbing up against each other, not quite making, not quite turning out the way that we thought they would or that they should. And I hate to say should because should is such a shitty word, but like it just feels like there's a struggle going on in here. And it's weird because the charms that are in here are actually really beautiful, positive, uplifting charms, right? We have the couple that are in sort of this coital bliss, and they kind of hung on to my finger for a minute. They really wanted to catch my attention. They sort of fell here in the middle, but they kind of fell in a downward position. This is the Abraham Hicks tree of sort of life, but this is about manifestation. And I like that this is here But when I look at the family charm, which should be a beautiful charm, it sort of feels like it's turned upside down, or not, everything's kind of not right. The wisdom charm is upside down and face down, which is like, this is like the big owl, right? This is the big wisdom. This is the intelligence, sort of everything that we know, but it's like kind of blocking everything. It feels like a big block there. And again, the rose that we saw in Lisa's charming is face down. So it's like, are we able to see our beauty? Are we able to honor our fragility? Are we able to feel protected? Do we feel sort of like we're growing in the way that we need to? And then I think that maybe things feel stifled, or like they're not quite working out the way that we think they should, right? And we could be manifesting more discord inadvertently by judging the things that are happening or that we're doing. And is it creating a bit of in a way, like a clusterfuck or a traffic jam in our life? You know what I mean? That metaphorically. And so that's what I'm looking at here. I want to see what this is. This is the one tarot coin that you have. And this is the Knight of Wands. So Knight of Wands to me can be about passion. It can be about impulsivity. It can be about fast starts, jumping into something, being dedicated or exuberant at first, but maybe not having staying power, not being able to see it through to the end, not being able to sort of like really support the entirety of the project or the scope of what is needed. They could blow hot and cold. Usually Knight of Swords, it's associated primarily with most of the fire signs. Again, we're back to that Aries energy that we've been seeing as a theme throughout all of this tonight. But it's predominantly, I associate it with the sign of Sagittarius. But it's flipped over here. And it makes me wonder if maybe there's a lot of reactionary stuff going on right now in your space or in your life. Are you reacting to things quickly? In the background, is this Knight of Swords sort of maybe burning you, or not burning you, but you know what I mean? Like, we might jump to conclusions or react very quickly, be sort of fiery or adamant about our stances on things. And in an effort, like, I feel like when I look at this stuff, it feels like we're not listening to ourselves. We're not honoring ourselves on some level. And I think that we know that. The dream catcher, it would indicate that we know that. This could be potentially just a rough patch. Let's just say that, right? But it feels pretty rough. And it might be feeling as though it's affecting maybe our relationship or our family. And that makes us even a little bit more hypersensitive or upset by it. The passion of the Knight of Wands, we're going to want to get in there and fix it. But we may not be able to feel like we're actually able to do what's needed, or we're maybe feeling like what we're doing isn't enough. And so that might be why we see this rose facing down, right? We're not necessarily able to see or give ourselves credit for maybe who we are in our frailties, who we are at the core of ourselves, right? This is the first chakra, which is on carnelian, but this is about the first chakra, which is about grounding, survival, keeping the body alive. And then this says believe in your dreams. And we have the dream catcher underneath all of this. So it's like, I feel like we're trying to hold on to our dreams, or we're trying to understand them, believe in them, honor them, act from them. But like, either we're putting them on the back burner, or we're not acknowledging them, or we're not allowing what we know to be true to be our truth. And I feel like when I see this here, and I see this charm here, and the dream catcher, I mean, all of these charms indicate that there is this deep love, maybe for those in your family, right? Those around you. But are you able to give that love to yourself also? And that's the part where I feel like maybe the answer to that question is at this time maybe is no, because you might feel like things aren't working out or aren't feeling as under control as they normally usually do. There could be some sort of, like, I don't know, disruption or whatever, and it may not even be disruption. It's not necessarily disruption caused by you per se, but it's just sort of disruption that you're trying to fix for maybe others, and it's just tiring you out. Or and the fact that this is here and upright says to me that, like, whatever you're focusing on or however you're perceiving this, however you're choosing to look at it, that sort of a thing, that's also producing more of this sort of um, I don't know if chaos is a strong word, but it feels like it's manifesting more of this discord in a way, and you may not realize that. I don't know if that makes sense, Dorothy. And I think there's an easy solution to this, because when the charm is on the board, it means that that power is, or that element is available to you. And when I look at this, you have the giant wisdom, you have this big, beautiful, like, owl. So you know how to sort of fix this. You know how to be smart about it. You have the dream catcher. You have the family charm, right? You even have the Knight of Wands, which can be very passionate and endearing and true in his feelings or his emotions. You have the Rose, right, which is about sort of being vulnerable and yet protected at the same time, being beautiful and spiritual and all of that sort of stuff, being centered, like maybe caring for ourselves first and foremost, like taking on a role of self-care, and then believing in your dreams, that it just allows you to kind of bring your dreams into reality. That's all possible for you, but I feel like you might be focused a little bit too much on the negative, or others around you might be focused too much on the negative. They might be telling you you're not enough, or you're not doing enough, or you're not, you know what I'm saying? And so inadvertently, you're allowing that to kind of take away what you know to be true. Or like you're second guessing yourself. And in that second guessing, like, inevitably you're actually manifesting more sort of discord. But let me ask you this. Do things feel disjointed right now? My husband, you're saying my husband and I are working on relationships. Plus, I want to go into goat farming. Plus, we're getting ready for our first kid going off to college. And then you said that might be my dad. But do things feel sort of strained, in a state of like they're not coming together right now? Because that's sort of what these charms are feeling like to me when they were first originally in their original positions. It felt like, where is the time for Dorothy? There's not much me time. And that's kind of what I'm feeling like is going on here. And in an effort to sort of create more, not necessarily me time, but, you know, I just feel like this is telling me that you're manifesting, or not that you're manifesting wrong. I don't want to say that, but it might be that if you're not able to sort of honor yourself, then you might be inadvertently setting yourself up to experience more discord, disruption, that sort of a thing. Work is a crazy mess too. And the thing is that I feel like you have all of the skill set. All of the charms here say to me that you have the strength and the intelligence and the wisdom to kind of set this right whenever you're ready to, but you may have to like sort of reel it in and kind of, you know, take care of you first and foremost, place you as the main center focus, and then work from there. I would say so. I don't think it would hurt anything. I would say get into your own sort of taking care of you, focusing on you. What is it that you need? Let the things amongst the family, whatever might be going on, let them iron it out for themselves. I don't know if you're a super caretaker. I also like the dream catcher underneath here. I think that you might need to like explore and chase after your dreams a little bit more than the dreams of everybody else. I understand the kids going to college, but if you really want a goat farm, well, then get out there and get a goat farm going. Like if that's your goal and that's your thing, how much time are you spending with that, right? Like those are the things that I feel like you have this wisdom charm, right? You're like blocking it for some reason. You're not allowing it because maybe you're not allowed to like look at stuff or deal with stuff in the way that you want to right now because you are dealing with relationship issues and issues within the family. And so when and where do you set that, not set it aside, but like just sort of allow for that stuff to kind of work itself out on it in its own way and go after your dreams, ground in your dreams and make those things possible for you. Go after those. That's my feeling there. Well, don't be fearful. I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but try and trust if it's what you want to do, you have to trust sort of that desire. Yeah, you do. But do it when it's right, you know? You'll know when it's right. That wisdom charm says you'll know when it's right and when you're ready. I hope that makes sense. And also, this is a number 7, which would be about making that conscious choice of going after it. So I would, you know, make that decision. All right, I'm going to clear this board. I'm starving like Marvin, you guys. So I'm going to sign off. Thank you, Dorothy. I'm going to go back to my sketchy horror movies and eat a burrito because I'm multicultural like that. But I will talk to you guys. You're welcome, Dorothy. You're very welcome. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everybody who got your charmings. Those of you that bought them and those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much. I'll be back next Sunday. You guys can join me every day. You know this, for the daily forecast and all of the for those of you that came in late, all of the taroscopes are up on the YouTube page for all of the signs for the month of August. So you can check out the signs for whoever you care about or yourself. You're welcome, Tracy. You're very, very welcome. I am feeling better. My jaw is no longer hurting, so that's good. I will see you guys, throughout the week. I'm always around. You can always message me if you need anything, and I will talk to you later. All right. Have a good day. Bye.